So here it is. This is the cheapest Model Y that we could find from Tesla's website, and we bought it because we want to share with you, what does the cheapest Model Y get you? Is it worth it? Is it good? What are the cons? We just want to talk about it, but also this car is from Austin. So I think a lot of people are just gonna kind of want to know, how does the car look? So I'm gonna go ahead and cut to some footage of when we actually picked it up. I didn't film a ton, but I kind of went over the car and at least pointed out the big things. Here is the Model Y. We're gonna walk around it. This is Austin build. I believe this is like the 84,000-ish car that came off the line. Let's see. We're just gonna walk around and make sure everything looks good. Walk through it all with you. Doesn't look like there's any like new hardware or anything like that on it, at least. Oh, there's David. But like, I mean, fit and finish. I mean, it's not bad. And I mean, maybe that a little bit. That's kind of being a little picky, but maybe. The headlight, I mean, we'll do some of this when we get home. I'll have the gap device and measure that. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. Doors look good, trim look good. Can't really draw my Chipotle. There is this. I don't really like that too much. Probably end up getting a whole new rear bumper because that's pretty bad. I don't like that. Gap here. Gap here looks great. Everything looks pretty well lined up. And then we do have actually a surprise. It's not the cheapest Model Y because we ended up getting a tow hitch because the original one we were supposed to get didn't actually get made. So then we got this one instead. So as you saw, I was not super happy with the quality of the rear bumper. Now, this is something that I talked to them about. I'm just gonna fill out a service request and we can get that replaced, which is great. That's really the gist of it, is that Tesla's gonna fix it. It is kind of a bummer we have to go through the process, but they're gonna fix it. But I have some stuff that I bought off Amazon, and this is actually a gap measurer. So it actually has like all the measurements in millimeters for gaps. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this around the car and we're gonna actually measure some gaps and see if it's equal on the driver side and passenger side and different sides of the hood and everything like that. And we're gonna really go over it and see how Austin is building their cars. Okay, so first thing first, we are going to look at this. So I've heard some people have had some gripes. Now up here, we are at about a 5mm gap. And then over here, we are at a 3. So yes, not as much space over here as compared to over there. Mind you, a lot of what I'm gonna point out too, most people would probably never even notice. I'm just saying. Right here, we're at a 2mm gap. Over here, a 3. So it looks like maybe the top of the hood could have been adjusted a little bit better. We're at about a 3 there and a 3 there. So the front is at least all uniform. Great. Let's measure some gaps. That I can't even get to a 2, so that's probably a 1. Same thing here. Now this part right here actually does kind of like raise a little bit. So I'll put that on the service request when we get the rear bumper done and see if maybe they can't push those two together a little bit more. I don't know. I'll have them look at that because I still think this light might be off just a tad. I don't know. We're gonna measure it. Up here, we're at like a 3. Yeah, we're basically like a 3 gap all the way around that. And then on this side, we're not even a 1. I can't even fit this tool in there. So I bet that's why this is bowed out, is because I think this light needs to be pushed in just a little bit more. It's really not that hard. Something we could just do ourselves if we really wanted to. Whereas on this side, you're about a 1 on all that. And then over here, can't quite fit anything in. So I'm definitely happier with how this is on this side compared to that. I think that headlight just needs to be pushed in a little bit. Again, not something huge, and honestly, not something most people would probably even notice, but here we are, I noticed it. So walking around the vehicle, let's go ahead and check this door gap between the front doors and the fender here. So hopefully you can see this, but we're about a 3 there, a 3 there, and almost like a 4 there. So 3, 3, 4. Now on the driver's side, we're about a 4, 3.5, 4. So a little bit, but I mean, we're talking millimeters here, so let's be real. I would say overall the consistency, like it's not like up here there's a huge gap and down here there's like no gap. I would say the gaps are very consistent. And honestly, I don't have an issue with any of them. I mean, I haven't really seen any gap issues. I don't think any of the doors need to be realigned. I'm actually pretty happy with how they are. It's a very uniform, which is what you want to see. Now also for the hatch, some people have said that they had issues up here where like this wasn't very flat. Like this would be like up a lot, or like one of these would be way up higher than the other. And this like is pretty good. Like I have no issues with that. And same thing on the other side. You can even just see it from here. They line up. Everything looks great along the hatch. Now this gap over here is pretty tight. I mean, right there, we're at like a 3. Down here, we're at like a 2. Now, if we come over to this side, you can see we're at like a 3 there and like a 2 there. So everything appears to be really good. Tail lights, like this right here, seems to be pretty spot on both the left and the right side. I don't really see too many issues there. Now the bottom portion of the hatch right here, you can see all looks very similar, so that's great. We love to see that. I can't believe they're still using chromed out badges on both the front and the rear. I would just suspect they have just a ton of these, but I can't wait for them to actually start doing black badges to really match the black trim. Now the rear bumper itself looks pretty good shape and everything, but again, like you kind of saw, that is the one thing I do have a problem with, because that just looks like maybe at the factory or something it was dropped, or maybe when they were putting this trim piece on or something. But anyway, that was definitely damaged. I don't really care for that. Now I did talk to David and Susie about this. And while David and Susie weren't too concerned with it, I was a little bit more concerned with it. And I just feel like if you are paying $50,000 for a car, you shouldn't really have this to deal with. So that being said, I did talk to the guy at Tesla. We're just gonna put in a service ticket for this and they're just gonna replace this bumper part. Is it kind of a pain? But I mean, stuff happens, but they're at least taking care of it. That's really the ultimate goal here, is you just wanna make sure if something isn't to your spec that it's taken care of, and they are. Now under these lights, the Model Y looks absolutely amazing, and it's actually helping me find some little things, something I didn't actually see. So on this fender right here, this is the passenger side, you can actually see right here, there's a little bit of like schmutz in the paint, if you will. And then, oh, it just locked. And then right under it, you can see that little like paint drip almost. It's not like super easy to see, but it is there. I guess that doesn't really bother me because like, you're probably never gonna see it unless you're like on top of it, and then you're gonna see it forever. So I might put this on the due bill too and just see what they say about that. We'll probably do that. But also like looking at this front quarter panel anyway, there's that right there, which appears to be like a big paint drip on that fender piece right there. So I went around the vehicle and I can't really see anything else that jumps out to me or that screams needing to be fixed. And also went through the interior of the vehicle. So that we actually did a lot more at Tesla because we were kind of playing around with it. I was showing Susie some stuff in the front seat. David was in the back kind of looking at everything. And there are some very notable improvements over our previous Model Ys that I'm very, very happy for. However, I definitely think that we'll go ahead and put this front fender on the do-bill, the rear bumper, as well as the driver's side light. If they can push that back a little bit to get this where the front bumper and the front fender on the driver's side meet to be a little bit more cohesive and kind of fit more like this side does and not almost pulled out a little bit like this side is. But yeah, I don't know. Tell me down below. Do you think I am being too picky? Do you think I'm going through too much with the little gap tool, which honestly, all the gaps were fine. I don't have an issue really with the gaps besides some on that side of the car could use a little tweaking. I think it's just the headlight. Am I being super picky, or would this be the same for you? Do you expect those kind of issues to be remedied as well? Now, this is our first car from Austin, so I'm not trying to let it cloud my judgment too much. I don't want to be overly picky, but so far our past 15 Teslas have all been from the Fremont factory, and I don't think we've really had many issues, especially like paint issues we really haven't had, and I haven't had any issues like that. So these are all new issues to me. I've never experienced these, so I don't really know how to approach it. But the great thing is so far, I'm talking with the guys at Tesla. They said as long as I make that service appointment within 24 hours with anything that I notice, they'll more than likely be able to fix anything. So I'm just happy that they are receptive to fixing anything that could pop up. That being said too, this is like VIN 84,000-ish from Austin. So hopefully it's not happening very frequently, because that could be a lot. And now when we were at Tesla, I actually did look at some other Austin build Model Ys that were also white, sitting kind of like right next to this one, and they didn't have the issue with the rear bumper. So I think the rear bumper might, maybe like during manufacturing, somehow it got dinged, and then it got painted, and then it got put on the car, and just nobody noticed it, nobody saw it, nobody reported it, whatever have you. And same thing with like this little paint drip right here. It could have been that no one ever even noticed that. It's just I'm seeing it really well under these lights, but also I'm particularly looking for the imperfections. So I don't know, I guess just let me know. Am I being overly picky? So one of those notable improvements that I actually saw back here is actually in the back seat. So back here, I want to say this is much wider than I previously thought it was. So I don't know if they really changed like the back seats much. However, I don't remember this being carpet in either of my previous Model Ys. So comment down below if you have a Model Y, is your like side bolster carpeted or hard plastic or what? I don't remember it being carpeted though. And I don't remember this all being carpeted either, but I love it because carpet honestly feels better than hard plastic, but also will help absorb sound, which is perfect in an EV when you don't really have a lot of sound. You're more able to hear road noises and such. So maybe this is all gonna act as like an absorber and stuff. So absolutely love all that. Also in the back and in the front, you actually have in this cup holder door pocket, that's carpet right here. I don't remember this being carpet in the previous ones. I thought it was just hard plastic, but carpet again makes sense because if you put anything in here and it bangs against that, it's gonna be a lot quieter banging against carpet than it would be like hard plastic or anything like that. Also kind of moving along other interior upgrades that weren't on the last Y are these door trim pieces. Those were not there. It was just like a solid piece, kind of like right here, how this trim wrapped under. It just wrapped all the way down right there and kind of like came across. So now you have the nice trim piece. So when you are in the vehicle, it looks pretty darn cohesive, which is nice. I like this. However, I don't care for the wood. We'll be changing it though. Another really big change that we noticed on the new Y is that. So we actually were playing around with it a little bit at the Tesla store when we picked up this Y. I'll go ahead and kind of throw that clip in there because it was kind of funny seeing David trying to figure out how to use this, but it's interesting.
So now they've been including this for a while, but our two Ys that we had didn't have this cover. It's very similar to the one in the Model S.
It's like it's sloped though. It like slopes in the back. If you look at that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting
design.
That's weird though. It doesn't fold up. Wait, what? Or maybe, wait, what? Oh, wait. Oh. That's different.
Oh, okay.
It's still different from the.
Oh, but you can see the slope actually. If
Yeah.
you here, do this
But
again,
that's a little-
you can kind of see the slope like right there, how it kind of slopes down at the end. That's
It's a little
interesting.
different from the S, but the problem is is you can't really open it up as much. Oh wait, there you go. Okay.
Well, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to happen.
It's popped out of the hinges there, but it's a different design than the S. We'll just say that.
I like having this built in a little bit. Now, if you remember in our previous Wise, we did the one from Abstract Ocean that actually like pulled and clipped in, and then it was a lot more compact, which I actually really kind of liked. This one's a little different, and it actually like kind of bows down a little bit. You can kind of see it on that side. And then, unfortunately, like the S is like super simple, it just folds. But this one won't fold because it gets caught on the left and the right side. So what they did here is they made it like fold that way. So, I mean, kind of interesting. I don't know how it stays. I don't know. Anyway, it's there. I do appreciate it, so that way it hides things back here. I just don't know if it's supposed to like latch in somewhere to stay up like this, or I don't know. Anyway, there's that. I just like options. I just don't know how to use this yet. I guess TBD. Now we do actually have a ton planned with this car, and I have a stack of boxes inside of all kinds of cool accessories and everything. So just make sure you stay tuned. If there's anything that you want to see an install or review of in particular, drop it down below and we will make sure that we can try to tag that for you. But there's a ton, a lot on the interior, a lot on the exterior. I think we're gonna have a really nice variety and good content for you guys to come, so make sure you stay tuned. But yeah, definitely let us know down in the comment section, have you bought a Model Y from Austin? Have you seen any issues with it? How did you like it? And we can go ahead and talk about it down there, but this is kind of our first impression look at the Model Y from Austin. Overall, not too bad, but there's a couple things that I think could be improved upon for sure. But that's basically it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you are looking to accessorize your Tesla Model S, X, 3, or Y, much like this one, or even Rivian now, definitely check them out. All linked down below, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. Several of our must-have accessories are definitely gonna include some kind of center console wrap. Really just helps protect that underlying material, as well as create your car your own with all kinds of cool, fun patterns and colors, as well as a matte screen protector. It really helps cut down any glare from the sun, as well as fingerprints, thanks to its oleophobic surface. But that's basically it for this one. As always, a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Go and click here to subscribe here for some other ones, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.